This is News Hour, live from the BBC in London. I'm Audrey Brown. And we're back to Ukraine and international reaction to the Russian invasion. On Tuesday, President Biden accused President Putin of carrying out genocide in Ukraine, and when pressed, he doubled down on that accusation.
I called it genocide because it's become clearer and clearer that Putin is just trying to wipe out the idea of even being able to be a Ukrainian. And the evidence is mounting. It's different than it was last week. The more evidence is coming out of literally the horrible things that the Russians have done in Ukraine. And we're going to only learn more and more about the devastation. And we'll let the lawyers decide internationally whether or not it qualifies, but it sure seems that way to me.
Now, President Biden was being unusually outspoken here because politicians usually hesitate to use the word genocide, not only because it has a strict legal definition, but also because it carries with it a responsibility for action. Professor Gregory Gordon is a former prosecutor with the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, where there was a genocide in 1994. He described what the threshold for genocide is.
You know, it's interesting. President Biden said he would let the lawyers sort it out, and I'm one of those lawyers. And I don't think so at this point. I think it's too early. That said, he's right about the fact that there's mounting evidence that they're engaging in international crimes. And I think the world has to be very alert to the fact that that could include genocide. I think it's premature now to say that it is. But I think that it's possible based on the fact that civilians have been targeted. It's based on the fact that there have been statements coming out of the Kremlin to the effect that Ukraine is not a legitimate nation and the country needs to be denazified. These are sort of genocidal statements. I think we have to take those into account, and I think we have to collect the evidence carefully, and we will see.
Professor Gregory Gordon, former prosecutor with the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda. Now, Jeffrey Edmonds is a former director for Russia at the U.S. National Security Council and is now a research scientist focusing on Russia's military. How important is the designation of genocide in understanding what's happening on the ground?
I think it's very important. I think, whether or not it's legally, premature, I think it captures viscerally the atrocities that are being committed by the Russian military and by the Russia's leadership. And unfortunately, this is historically true with the Russian military. They are traditionally and historically barbarous when it comes to the treatment of civilians, whether that's after World War II, in Chechnya, in Syria, and now in Ukraine.
Now, does President Biden saying this and then doubling down on it signal to you any change or intensification in the U.S. strategy towards Russia and Ukraine?
I think it sets the ground for an intensification. I don't know that there's going to be a dramatic change in policy, the kind of which we would actually start targeting Russian forces directly. But I think it definitely lays a groundwork for at least continued, if not intensified, support to Ukraine's military.
But do you think by saying it, it's enough for the U.S. to then believe that there's a genocide, or are there actual processes that need to be followed before it is actually declared a genocide, which carries with it a responsibility to act?
There is a process here, and so I do think it's premature for that to be legal finding. But I think, given the president and the way he goes about this, I think it correctly captures the visceral aspect of this. But I agree, there is a process that needs to happen here in the United States.
And what is that process? Do you know?
I'm not an expert on that process, but I know it involves the State Department. It involves the gathering of evidence. I know that's currently happening, and that evidence is mounting.
So do you think that this is a calculated strategic escalation of rhetoric by President Biden, or was he just speaking his mind, sort of, off the cuff?
I think he was speaking his mind. I do not think it's a strategic rhetorical move to change policy. I think, again, he's just, he's voicing his feelings about what we're learning about Russian behavior in Ukraine.
Now, President Biden claims that Vladimir Putin wants to wipe out the Ukrainian identity. Do you think that that's contained in Mr. Putin's rhetoric?
I certainly think it is. When you read the different pieces that he has written about the history of Ukraine and about how it was a creation by the Soviets and how it's not a real country, and this is something that other prominent individuals in Russia have said, I think it's very much contained within his rhetoric.
Now, looking at it from the point of view of the Russians, does invoking genocide aid any understanding of what's going on, of what Mr. Putin is pursuing at all?
I'm not sure that it does, because he has really eliminated, most pathways for correct information to make its way to the Russian people. I mean, if you're diligent in Russia, you can get outside news sources, but it's really very difficult at this point. So it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't have much impact on the actual Russian citizens.
Looking at what Russia is doing on the ground, militarily, what do you see? What does it tell us about what's happening within Russia and within the military?
So within the military, I think the reason that they're focusing on the East is because that's all they can do at this point. I mean, they strategically failed to achieve their main objective, which was, capturing Kyiv. The one thing this does do is it simplifies Russian logistics, their operations, because it's a smaller geographic area. And with the appointment of a general in charge of this, their command and control is more solid. And so I think their operations may become more lethal and more effective. That being said, the constraint on that is that they're trying to do this with a force that's already really beaten up, with low morale as well.
And will it work to throw money at it?
Well, I think money is one thing, but I think weapons for the Ukrainians, because we are transitioning into a different type of fight, and so I do think things like helicopters, jets, tanks, more missiles, more air defense. I think those things will really be useful to the Ukrainians as they, try to secure Ukrainian territorial integrity.
No, I meant more from the side of the Russians. What would they be doing in order to beef up?
So again, what I think they're trying to do is concentrate the forces they have and simplify things so that they can try to achieve some semblance of victory that Putin can sell domestically before he decides to pull out, and before the Russian military fails. I don't know that throwing money at the Russian military at this point is going to do much good. So
pulling out, what happens after that, do you think?
I don't know. It really depends on, there's a big unknown here. One, that's how far do the Ukrainians want to go? Do they want to push the Russians back into Russia? And two, can they actually do it if that is what they want to do? If the Russians establish some level of security in Donbass and are able to continue to hold on to what they held on to before, that might be enough for them to pull out and leave what they have.
That's Jeffrey Edmonds, a former director for Russia at the U.S. National Security Council, and now a research scientist focusing on Russia's military. And that brings to an end this edition of NewsHour. I'm Audrey Brown. Thank you so much for your company.
This is the BBC World Service, and on this week's assignment...
Vladimir Putin's war on Ukraine has sent hundreds of thousands of Russians into exile. Some are fleeing political repression, others economic sanctions. Join me, Tim Hewell, in Russia's neighbour Georgia. What welcome are the exiles getting there?
Journeys to the heart of a story. Assignment, Thursday at 19 GMT. And in 30 minutes...
Soul music gets behind the magnificence of Nina Simone's classic song, Feeling Good, first written for a musical.
And I have
perfect
for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Go ahead, you put that on first and then I'll... Yeah, there you go. Then this will be on the inside. Yeah.
Good?
Oh, it's staying up very well. Out a little bit?
Yeah, he's good. No, he's
good. I think it's 5. Okay, I think we are live. Welcome to Belmont Media Center's coverage of Belmont High School boys lacrosse. We are here tonight at Harris Field for the Marauders to take on the Watertown. What is their mascot? Raiders. Thank you. I'm Cheryl Grace, joined by Jeremy Merzer from Belmont Media supporting, and Ross Lamack.
Ross Bremen.
Bremen.
Yeah.
I'm giving your wife's name.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
I'm like, that's how it should be. You should have taken her name. Anyway, Okay, so this is the first time I'm shooting lacrosse. Actually, I haven't been to a high school lacrosse game here for boys. So this will be an interesting learning experience for me. So glad you jumped in, Ross, to explain to us what's going on.
Sure, it's my pleasure.
I understand you've been coaching in the Belmont lacrosse system for quite a while.
8 years.
That's awesome. Now, did you just learn it so you could coach, or you played a little bit when you were growing up?
I played a little bit when I was growing up.
Nice. Okay.
And so this is a pretty special matchup, Belmont versus Watertown. These kids have been playing each other all the way from the junior ranks and up. So these kids have actually known quite a few of the members of each team, up through the junior ranks. So it should be a good contest.
Nice. They probably play each other in the club teams as well, and
Exactly.
with each other. So some of them have actually been probably teammates.
So Watertown controlled the face there, made the pass to Anthony there, number 2. Anthony is a club player coming up through the ranks playing for Guerrilla Lacrosse. So he's actually played with a number of the Belmont players over the years. So Nate Moss, the goalie, brings it up.
And has he been goalie before?
This is his first year as the full-time goalie for the varsity. He was splitting time between JV and varsity last year.
Okay. Number 8 speeding around over there.
Yeah, Bruce Hudson, really fast.
Oh, I coached soccer for Bruce. He is fast.
Aubrey controls it at X.
Now he has the ball now. I heard he's a captain.
He is. He dodges it. Missed pass through the middle. Watertown controls the loose ball.
Oh my.
Ball's
That just
down.
popped right out.
Spencer's got it. He passes it back to Aubrey. Aubrey dodging through the middle. Takes a shot. He scores!
Wow. That was quick.
Yeah, Aubrey dodging down the alley from the left. Righty shot, top right, right in the corner. Goalie couldn't handle it. Good way for Belmont to start this game. 1-0.
I have to say too, of sports that I've seen maybe on TV a little bit of, lacrosse, and if there is one position in any sport that I have thought, oh my gosh, it's the goalie in this game.
Yeah, you got to have a short memory as goalie for lacrosse because there are going to be a lot of goals scored against you. Nobody's going to shut anybody out.
It's crazy too. I don't even know how you can actually stop it.
Yeah. Not a lot of equipment worn by these guys. So that's Anthony for Watertown, one of their better players.
He looks wily.
Yeah, he's a crafty player. Watertown controls it at the top, setting up the offense.
Who do we have out there for Belmont right now? Who are our players? Do we know the defense?
Yeah, we do. The long pole defenseman, led by Colin Shea. Who else do we have out there? We've got Zach Moss on long pole. We've got Joe Gaziano on defense as well.
Watertown trying to get it to someone in front who can take a shot.
That's Joe Gaziano.
Yeah, picks him off. Very
Keeps
good.
it inbounds up, but Watertown gets back.
Joe's another player that, like my son, maybe hasn't played too much before, but decided to go for the spring sport here.
Yeah, I think he was a
something
hockey
different.
player.
Yep, that's how I know him.
So this is Phil Pitts, the short stick defensive player. He's physical.
He's up here out on the.
Yep, he's covering number 4.
Okay. Now, what's his job? Just use the body like that to keep him out?
That's right. He's a defensive midi, so you'll see him more on the defensive side of the ball. And his job is to do exactly what he did there, pushing the offensive player out along the sides, preventing him from getting inside. Number 13, Watertown with the dodge. Moss with the save.
Okay, that actually hit the goalie's
It
stick.
did.
That was surprising.
Yeah, Nate Moss with the save there. And then Zach Moss, number 7, with the clear. So brother to brother.
Oh, fun. Okay, now there's a huge line change, as we would call it in another sport.
Yep.
And is that you change from offense to defense, or is it just people get tired, you change?
A little bit of both.
Wasn't that a pick?
That's going to be a penalty.
That looked like a pick to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called in this sport.
Let's see what they call it.
Okay, the sideline's happy about what happened there for Belmont.
So they didn't call it's just a loss of possession. Watertown not losing a player for any time there. They could have called a penalty with time served.
And then someone has to go out.
Exactly, but not in that case.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're working it around in front.
Yep. So you'll see that is number 19.
That's my guy.
Peter Grace.
He took the same number so he could help me out. I'd find him.
Yeah, so here's one of the Palmers, 15. That's Matt Palmer. To 9, who is his brother Michael.
I was just going to say, was that a Palmer to Palmer? It looked like it. There was something about the way they run.
It was.
I love it.
There's 18, Spencer. I believe Spencer is one of the captains this year.
Okay.
Here's Aubrey with the dodge from X. He rolls,
like he's going to get around
again.
He likes that coming around the right side, finding the left corner.
So Aubrey with the roll from X, and again a righty shot to the top right.
Wow, so he's 2 for the night so far.
He is. He's Belmont's leading scorer so far. We have Ian Burns coming out to take the face. So as you get higher through the ranks, having the right face-off guy is critical because you can't win if you can't score if you don't have the ball. And so oftentimes the team that controls the face-off is the team that's going to have the big advantage. False start.
That means, are we moved, or did Ian move that?
Ian must have moved a little bit early there.
Oh my. That's tricky to understand. Okay. I've always thought, so, and am I right that they balance the ball in between the 2 sticks or something like that on the face-off? I couldn't get in close enough.
They don't. The ball is just sitting there in between the sticks.
Okay.
And they have to wait for the ref to blow the whistle so that they can then go after the ball. And so Belmont moved just a little bit early that time.
Got it. Do you know if that's a thing in any sport? I swear I remember somebody making a balancing thing. Is that the girls' side?
The girls do. The girls hold it up in the air.
Okay.
And the ball is in between their sticks.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Wrong gender for the sport here.
Same sport, but yeah, different.
I heard very different
rules.
Yeah. Oh, wow, they really got that.
So here's number 6. Oh, and he scores.
Well, he set himself up really good on that, right? He picked that pass off.
He picked it off, and then he was rewarded with the goal. That was number 6, Adam. I'm not sure I can pronounce
I know, this is what happens.
Sharinian, I believe.
All right, we'll go with that.
Midfielder from Watertown. We'll say Adam. So here's here's Ian back out for the
I'm going to get way in there on that face-off. And then people won't be able to see what happened afterwards, but we got a really good zoom on this camera tonight. Take advantage of it.
So you can see Watertown on the far side has a long pole midi, and so that's, you have that guy in there as sort of a defensive player. 14 controls the face. He's going to pull it out. Aubrey's going to set up the offense. Here come the Palmers as well as Bruce Hudson.
So they weren't out there during the face-off in case there needed to be more defense?
Correct.
Is that the deal? Oh.
Correct. So here's I believe that's Matt Palmer to Peter. Here's Aubrey again, dodging from X. He passes to Peter. Shoots, but the goalie makes a save.
Okay. So now Watertown's going to try and...
They're Watertown is trying to clear it. Belmont it's called riding, where they match up with the players on the other side, so they make it hard to clear it across the midfield. It's called a ride.
I was just a little nervous. It seemed like their goalie was out pretty high on that.
The goalie is very exposed when the other team rides, and will walk the ball up as Nate Moss is doing here. Because, see, now number 13 is coming across. He's totally exposed. There should be somebody open.
Now he's got to hustle.
He's got to hustle back. Good athletic play there, not losing the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure he knew that person was coming.
No. You're very exposed out there as the goalie. But when that happens, that means that somebody is open.
Okay, 15's in there.
That's one of the Bombers.
Oh, that's who that was.
Here's Peter. Oh, wow.
Wow, right into the
goalie's stick. So
he wanted that.
Had a little bit of room there. Sometimes when you're shooting up high like that, the goalie has the bigger stick, and he can get a good look at it.
Wow, that was a great catch there by number one. He doesn't have a lot of height, but he got up there for that really well.
Some good stick skills shown there. So here's number 2 on number 2. Number 2 for Belmont, that's Quinn Leary, who played at the junior ranks and is making his way back here at the high school level.
Oh, he didn't play maybe with us before, is what you're saying?
He didn't play last year.
I see. Well, that was tough last year. I mean, people were like, I'm going to play, how many games? 3 games or something?
Exactly.
Make the decision.
So, but Quinn's back this year, playing on the varsity team, doing a really good job.
So he's in defense too, with a long pole or with a regular pole?
He's got a short stick, so so he's ideally covering one of the midfielders who are the players that are up higher, closer to midfield.
Now, what is the point of the long stick compared to the short for the back players?
The long pole is usually 6 feet long, so it gives you a lot more length to poke at the offensive player. So it what a nice pass there. That was I'm not sure if it was Peter who made the pass, but it was Bruce Hudson who shot and scored.
Boy, he was just waiting right at the side of the net there, wasn't he? I love that.
He really was. Yeah,
we call that the back door in our other sport.
Yeah, we call it. He's a crease cranker.
A grease cranker.
A crease cranker.
A crease cranker.
He's sitting on the crease,
yes.
The circle, and when the ball came, he just fired
it right in. Now, is there a rule about how you close your, like in some sports you can't be inside a certain color line or something?
The offensive player cannot be in the crease. That would be a violation, and that would turn the ball over. So Watertown started early on that face-off. Aubrey controls it. He's taking it to X. They called yellow, which means they slowed it down so the other players could get on the field and could set up the offense.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll yellow to trick we got to push their number 4 on 15. Sometimes they'll call yellow as a fake when they might use like green or some other color to slow it down, and the other team stops playing because they hear yellow.
A little mind game.
Yeah, exactly. Some tricks, but yellow is kind of universal for slow down while the offense sets up.
Okay, now this is one of the Bombers.
This is one of the Bombers. Yeah. One of them's a lefty and one of them's a righty.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, who's got that? Oh, Watertown came out with that.
Watertown's got it. Number 4 is trying to clear.
Nice pass.
Gets it up to Anthony, again, one of Watertown's main offensive players.
The defense has their hands full with him, that's for sure.
And Joe Gaziano is guarding him. Joe, a real athletic player.
Totally. And he's got that mind. He's not going to let people around him unless something, It's
Watertown throws it away. Do they keep it in? No. Turnover. Belmont's going to pick it up here. Colin Shea is going to pick it up for the clear. Colin, one of the captains of the team.
Oh, nice. Okay, I didn't know that.
Gets it up to Peter Grace. Peter Grace jogging it up.
Looks like he called his own yellow.
He did.
Whether the coach wanted it or not.
So Mike has it in the middle. He rolls. Inadvertent pass. Let's see if they can keep it over half. No. Turnover now. If Belmont had gotten that when it went over the line, it would have been a turnover anyway. It's called an over and back.
Oh, really? They have to keep it on their half.
Once you're in the offensive set, if you throw it away to the other side, it's an automatic turnover.
Oh.
Watertown setting it up, a dodge from X. X being behind the goal.
Yep, someone's trying to make that
their
move.
Offense reestablished.
Oh, that didn't come out right.
Inadvertent pass. Actually, the Belmont player got his stick on it.
Oh, is that what? Okay, so then it didn't go through.
That's the purpose of that long pole. Gives you a lot of reach. So here's number 3, Ian, with the long pole. Face-off guy with the pole.
But wait a minute. So he must have switched.
Oh, it's a shot. That's going to be out of bounds. Now, on a shot, when it goes out of bounds, the team closest to the ball gets it.
I know that they run after there with their pole, trying to be the one that the pole that's closer to the edge.
On a shot, because on a shot, the closest team to the ball wins it.
There we go. That's our period.
So that was the first quarter, yeah.
Oh. First quarter, and Belmont is up 3-1.
3-1. Belmont played pretty well that first quarter. I don't want to give away too much because I know that the teams will be sharing this film. Don't want to give you any insight into what the Belmont offense is running, but they did a good job there.
Yeah. They had several shots. I would say if you were doing shots on goal, I think they had more shots on goal.
They did. They definitely controlled the ball that quarter.
So it wasn't just that one goalie, I don't know, was the Ryan Griffin of the sport or something. I don't know if you know what that means, but anyway, I just saw his mom. That made me think of him.
Aubrey had a couple good dodges there.
Right?
A couple goals, yeah.
So, all right. So how many of the kids on the team have you coached? If you did the town program, you probably almost had all of them, right?
Cole, who's unfortunately the individual wearing the brace on the sideline.
There with the black, yeah.
Yeah, he's a junior, and so the freshmen, sophomores, juniors would have been
the people that you heard
in my ranks. Yeah.
Now, how many on the team? Because this is varsity. How many are sophomores and freshmen, or is this a very heavy junior-senior team?
This is a heavy junior-senior team. The Palmers are sophomores.
Oh, that's right. I knew that. Yeah.
On defense, I haven't necessarily seen him in. James Hanley, one of the midfielders, is a sophomore, and I haven't seen him in. Certainly, there's a number on the team. Nate Moss, the goalie, is a sophomore, so that's good. He'll be around for several years.
Yeah.
So it's good to see some of the core players. The Palmers, Nate Moss, the goalie, James Hanley, Liam McDonald. He's a long pole defender. I don't know that I've seen him in.
Yeah, today. Okay.
He's number 22.
Oh, we'll look for that then.
But several sophomores on the team this year.
Okay, here we kick off the next. Ian took that again. What, since no one could pick it up, they just called it, or was there someone pushing?
If I saw the ref, he made the hand signal for a push.
Okay.
So
I can't. It's so hard to call on that. It looked like they were all pushing, but anyway.
It's a little bit of a scrum.
That's what I was going to say. It looked rugby-like, didn't it?
Yeah. So here's Aubrey again.
He just almost
oh wow, wow. He had some space there.
Kind of ricocheted weird off his.
He was kind of reaching over up high with his stick there to get up and over the goalie, and he just the ball maybe just got away from him a little bit. So here he is again, dodging for Max. Oh wow, he had the open man. That was number 18, Spencer. Really had a good opportunity there, just couldn't catch the ball. Here's Spencer again. Misses. Aubrey backing it up. Still Belmont ball.
Yeah, Aubrey was definitely closest to the line back there. He didn't even really have to run and stick his stick out.
Closest to the ball.
Closest to the ball.
Closest to the ball where it goes out.
You know, I think they made that rule just so that the game wouldn't go a long time because you're already standing there. You can pick up a ball quick.
Right. There's Aubrey again with the pass, and
somehow it ricocheted but it went off of the goalie, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a little.
I mean, you'll take it, but doggone it, he probably was like, "What?"
Sometimes the ball takes a lucky bounce.
Yeah. So that went to 4-1. Yeah, that was 4-1. Yeah.
Watertown with a new face-off man here, number 10. His name is Tyler. Jack, number 4, had been taking it previously.
Looks like we still have Ian on it. Yeah.
Yep, Ian's still taking it. Oh, wow. Ian, he does have it. Yep, he does have it.
He just likes us to sit into suspense for a second.
Aubrey with the pass to Peter Grace, who shoots. Oh, goalie makes a save.
Off the shoes.
Yeah, I think...
oh, that was nice to get out of the traffic there. That was a nice move by Fulmer.
See what they do here. Is he just going to let it roll out after the shot? He does. So Spencer controls it. He's walking it, jogging it at X. Passes it to Aubrey. They set up the offense. Makes a quick pass to one of the Palmers behind the back. Oh, he misses. That was fancy play for all you kids watching at home.
He did. He tried.
He did the feint behind the back.
I'm looking in this little viewfinder, and I can see white, but I can't see all the subtleties, so I didn't have to look at that later, the little behind the back.
Here's Aubrey coming around. Peter Grace catches it. Shot. Defenseman gets it to the goalie, who clears. He's walking it up. They get across midfield. Gets it in the box, loses it.
Oh, a little bit of a battle. Oh, it's hard to get off the ground. That's so funny.
Number
oh gosh.
There kicks it ahead. Number 24.
Kicking is allowed, I take it. Okay.
It is. Yep.
Now I know.
So 24. That was James Hanley. I mentioned one of the sophomores playing long pole. So here comes one of the Palmers, Michael Palmer. His brother Matt has it, dodges out, or actually, no, that was Peter Grace with the one-handed goal. Wow.
There you go.
Peter Grace dodging down the middle.
So I'll go over and shoot the scoreboard, even though we have such help from Belmont Media tonight. We have the scoreboard on the picture. All this, like, fancy paraphernalia.
Oh, sorry.
So number 4 back up to take the face.
Oh, they went back to him.
Ian still taking the face for Belmont.
There's a height difference. Does it matter? It's not like it's a jump ball.
It can.
Because of reach?
No, it's more. It's just physicality. It's pushing the other guy out of the way. False start against Belmont there.
You know, it's interesting because I'm watching them squat and I'm thinking they're probably moving. Like if they were me, I can't stay in that squat position very long.
Yeah,
I know they're younger and limber, but you know,
right.
I'm not sure. Okay.
They want to be quick to. It's called a clamp. They want to be quick to get their stick down on the ball, so that they can pull it over.
Exactly. But if you're too fast, then they see you
it's
move.
False start, exactly. But even when you win the clamp, as I said, it's a very physical position, and if the other guy is bigger, he might be able to just push
get you out of the way and get the ball anyway.
The clamping player out of the way anyway. Yep.
Oh.
So Watertown controls. They've got it up top. They're setting things up. Pass it to X. They're moving it around. Watertown dodging. That looks like it's going to get over. Yeah, that's... So they called the over and back there, just awarding it to Belmont.
So even if he didn't pick it up, he would have picked it up?
He would have.
Uh-huh.
Here's one of the Palmers, slowing it down.
Oh,
Aubrey controls it up top. So he tosses it out to Quinn Leary. Quinn dodging down the alley, beats his man, pulls it back out.
That's the last time we talked about Quinn. He was seemingly on defense, so he has to do both.
Well, yeah, he's playing midfielder, and midfielders are they go both ways. So midfielders can be on offense and defense. Oftentimes the defensive midfielders will be very physical players who happen to be good at defense. Here's Spencer to number 9 who scores. That was Michael Palmer.
That was well set up. They kind of worked that right around. Then I think, unfortunate for Watertown, they didn't have a body on Michael.
No, they did not.
They kind of need to. Yeah, that's what I think.
So getting back to the midfield, so the midfielders can go either way, and sometimes, like if you have time to set up, your offense, you'll have the offensive midfielders come out. If the other team takes time to set up their offense, you can have your defensive midfielder come out. Ian controls the face. Aubrey's got it again, setting up the offense. Here comes Bruce Hudson. Bruce has got it up top. Looks like he's going to take a dodge. Dodges down the alley, makes the pass. Oh, couldn't handle it. Aubrey in the middle. Oh, wow, fancy, behind the back from about 12 yards out. And he got some pace on it. That takes a little bit of practice.
So as we were chatting a second ago about if Belmont had heavy junior senior, and we do have JV. I heard before the game that Watertown actually only fields one team. I don't think that they have the numbers, and so I think coming into the game there was probably a sense that just in terms of depth and whatever, Belmont had a little bit of a upper hand coming in.
Yep.
Right now we see that as in the score, but I wasn't watching much, but I went to a game at BU the other day and they were up like 9-1 when I got there, and then the other team made 6 scores or something.
Yeah.
They ended up winning still, but this can really change quickly.
Things can change quickly, definitely. Especially if you have a good face-off man and you can keep winning the face, because you can win the face, score, win the face, score. Things can happen quickly.
Yeah. Okay, now they called something on. I don't know.
This is currently a timeout. Yeah, okay. This is currently a timeout.
But there was something right before that happened, and the ref blew a whistle, and then there was there was some kind of penalty or something. But not a penalty. You said that you can actually lose a player.
Yeah, so there are some penalties where like a light push where they might just call loss of possession.
Got it.
But there are other penalties that if there's excessive force or cross-check or a trip, where the player could be given time out.
Now, there's no penalty box for them to go to. They just have to go to the side for some amount of time?
There actually is. So if you look at the field, you might not be able to see it on TV, but there are orange cones
I do see it.
set up where the players stand. And between where the timekeeper is sitting in the middle and those cones, that's sort of the penalty area.
That's the sin bin. Okay.
If a player had a penalty that he had to serve, he would take a knee in that area. That's considered the box.
Okay. Well, no one's gone there today, so I haven't seen that.
That's right.
Hopefully not. I mean, we like clean games, right?
Yeah. In theory. The players should be on both sides. Should be on the
outer side
of that cone.
Yeah. I think that probably also helps when they're trying to figure out are people subbing or not, right? Because if they just run right from the side and they don't go to the middle, I'm sure that's an issue.
Yeah. So when they sub, they can run through the box.
Oh my God.
Oh wow. That was number 18, Spencer, with the goal. The goalie came out to put a body on him, but Spencer made the nice athletic move and was able to get it past him. Good pass there as well.
Yeah, I have to say I like what the goalie did though. Got to take a chance once in a while. There was no one else around. He's like, look, if something's going to stop this, I'm going to have to.
Yep.
Now, the goalie coach might not be saying that, but I was.
You see on the sideline there, Cole Lamack Bremen talking to different players, encouraging them, giving them some coaching.
I asked, actually, if we could use Cole for the announcing. I thought, what the heck? And Coach said, no way, I need his energy down here.
Said he's a positive force on the bench.
Yes. Yeah. And, Coach probably knows, just like at home, the kids will listen to him.
This is Phil Pitts, who picked up the ball there. Yeah, he picked up the ball, cleared it. Here comes Peter Grace. It's got to be careful there that they don't call a ward. He used his hand to kind of push off. That's you're not allowed to do that.
Ooh, I'll have him watch that part of the tape.
That's right. Yeah.
He's got to learn his lacrosse rules.
I didn't see it from here, but it potentially could have been called.
Oh my, did you hear the coach? The coach yelled, move it faster.
Yeah, so the Palmer to Palmer gives it to Spencer. He's got it at X. He rolls. He's got Spencer with the pick from, I didn't see who that was, but he dodged from X, had a pick, legal. The player wasn't moving and was able to put it in the goal.
Oh, so it's just like basketball. If you have your ground, you can be the pick, but you can't be like,
correct,
moving with it. Got
correct.
It. Okay.
Belmont playing well here in the second quarter. It's 9-1.
So what do you think? Do you think that coach will start putting out some players that don't usually, get so much time to get them some?
I think it probably would be a little bit early at this point, but definitely fourth quarter.
Okay.
If it remains to be lopsided, you'll see some of the other players. Belmont controls the face.
What I liked about that whoever that player was for Belmont, man, he was just fast. He was like, I'm going to be the first to that ball. I'm sure that's the thing.
Joe Gaziano, we've mentioned him a couple times.
He was seriously on
athletic
first.
Player, yeah. So here we go, the Palmers again to Aubrey up top. We do see number 5 in there, Dylan Hawkins in the middle. We haven't called his name today. He's open. He's in the middle there, looking for the pass. He's a junior.
Yes.
That was one of the Palmers with.
That was a big swing.
Yeah, he did.
Love that. Looked like tennis for a second.
Yeah, exactly. Here comes Spencer dodging with the roll. Rolls again. looking for the pass. Gets it to Aubrey, who scores. Quick give and go there.
Well, the Watertown defense really having a hard time keeping 18-1 in check down there.
So we're actually seeing, to your point about getting some of the other players, and we see number 1, Jacob Lubetsky.
Okay.
He's a sophomore.
Okay.
Coming in on defense.
With a long pole?
With a long pole.
There you go.
Ian didn't win the clamp, but it looks, what are they going to call?
Oh, he pushed.
Call the push on White. It's going to be Watertown ball.
Whoa, I went way out. We don't need to be that far out.
Watertown controlling. He dropped the ball.
Well, I don't even think he realized it popped out.
That was 23, Colin Galloway, known as one of the key members of the basketball team.
Okay.
Making his first appearance here on the varsity squad.
The goalie's got it here.
So, Coach going to the bench early. Oh, Aubrey with the pickoff.
The goalie did not want to do that.
He is able to run through some traffic there and score.
Okay, Aubrey's made enough, they said.
So we now have up on attack, that's the side that has the Watertown goalie, Jack Murphy coming out to play attack, number 12. Ian gets the control. He gets it to Peter Grace. Peter Grace dodges, takes it to X.
X means behind?
Yep, X behind the goal. He's rolling. Passes it to Spencer. Throws it out to Palmer. So this is Dylan up top. That was number 8. Bruce Hudson couldn't handle the pass. Yeah. A little sloppy there.
Just didn't collect it. That happens.
It does.
Gives Watertown a chance. They haven't been down on their side for a while.
Sometimes when you're up on offense, the ball just takes an unlucky bounce.
Well, you also, I'm sure, like in other sports, you're ready to catch it and you look away for just a second because, it's there and then it's not.
Yeah.
It's that you see it to the racket or see it into the head of the...
Yeah, these guys make it look so easy, the throwing and passing. Takes a lot of practice.
Yes.
Yep. Here's Anthony again, number 2. Former guerrilla lacrosse teammate with several of the Belmont players. Number 4 with the shot.
Wow.
And
that was
Nate
caught.
Saves it, yep.
Good for him.
He's walking it up. He's going to take a run across midfield.
He's allowed to go across.
He is, yeah.
Wow.
As long as you saw Bruce Hudson, number 8, put his stick up. That's called midi back.
Oh, so he's saying I'm the one staying back
saying
for him.
Exactly, yeah. Correct, yep.
That's interesting. So they have to communicate.
Yep. You can only have 6 members on the offensive side.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, as the goalie was running up, someone was probably yelling midi back, midi back. Here's one of the Palmers. Fakes it.
Interesting that when you fake it, the ball doesn't come out still.
Right.
I guess you got to turn it or something as you're doing that.
You do. He turned his stick as he was throwing it he's throwing his stick forward.
can analyze the.
Here's Spencer up top. Quinn Leary back to Spencer. Spencer dodging, pulls it back.
Oh, they're
end of the quarter.
Very nice. We'll take a little break. We're at 11-1 Belmont over Watertown at the half. We're good.
Go hit some people because you like to do that, but
thanks. All right, we're back. Second half.
So we're joined here in the box by Craig Galloway, known to the Belmont community as Coach Craig. Coached Team Black in the early years at the soccer ranks. One of the teams that went undefeated in the I think it was the 3rd, 4th grade division,
where all the formation really happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was known as a hard charger coach, Craig, who didn't care if it was raining or 20 degrees below zero. The kids were out there. Had the weather app on his phone and just made sure there was no lightning. A lot of these kids on the team played for Coach Craig in those junior ranks. So we're about to get back at it here. Ian back out there on the face. Watertown has changed their face-off guide. There are new rules this year. You can't put your knee down. So you could tell that there was a little conversation about the rules there prior to the face. The ref making sure that both players knew what was happening.
So you can squat as long as the knee doesn't touch. Is that what you're saying?
That's the rule this year. You can't put your knees down.
You'd think maybe they didn't want to anyway, because you'd be able to jump on it better if your knee's not down. But I don't know.
So Watertown controls. Philip Pitts there, number 13, playing defense.
They pulled it way out.
So you can see Watertown's going to take a dodge here. That's why he's backing up, so he can get a running start. He's going to either dodge down or he's going to pass. So he pulls it back. Passes it down. Anthony controlling it at X. He'll probably take a dodge from here, see if he can create something. Number 24 playing defense, that's James Hanley, playing good D there. James still only a sophomore, so he'll probably grow a little bit by the time he becomes a senior. He'll probably be one of the main players senior year.
I think, did that go off a post or something?
It did. It hit the post.
I saw a bunch of stuff move, and then it didn't go in. I was like, what?
Colin Shea, number 10, fighting for the ball there. Couldn't pick it up.
Now back to you had mentioned Hanley. I heard you say him in the first half too. Was he on defense in the first half? I don't remember that.
I think I first saw him on the midfield, and then he came in as a long pole defender. He through the junior ranks and at the club level, he's played mostly long pole defense.
Oh, so you were more surprised to see him maybe at midi.
He plays for the Penguins at the club level. That was number 4, who had taken several of the faces who just scored.
Oh, so Watertown came out here at the beginning of the second half and controlled it there for the whole first part and
they did.
Made a goal.
Good effort there. A lot of energy to start the half.
Well, clearly the whiteboard worked at the half for them. Their second goal of the game here.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to get another penalty explained because we got the text from those watching that something we missed in the first half was explained.
In the first half, there was the ref made a call. I think it was just prior to a timeout that we weren't quite paying attention at that point. And what the rule is that when there's a turnover, you have. It's different at different levels, but you generally have, I think it's 10 seconds to get across the midline. And if you don't get it across, it's a failure to advance, and so it's a turnover. And so that's one of the reasons why if you do a defensive ride, you can prevent the team from getting it across in those 10 seconds.
Yeah. And 10 may sound like
a lot of time, but it's really
yeah.
not. So that was Peter Grace taking a dodge. Jack Murphy controls it up top. That is Peter Grace up top. Jack Murphy's got it.
He's looking.
Back to Peter. They're setting up the offense. Down low to Spencer. Back to Jack. Dylan Hawkins passes it down to Aubrey.
Oh, Aubrey's back in.
Yep. Spencer down at X. Looks like he's going to dodge. Oh, he lost the ball. He had some space there. He just couldn't hold on to it. So you'll see here Jack running off the field and then James Hanley running on, as a defender.
Yeah.
So what they did was they had James Hanley come on as a defensive midi with the pole. You can see he's running off again right now.
Oh, they called yellow.
Yellow because you can see number 15, Matt Palmer, coming on offensively. James Hanley running off. Up to Dylan Hawkins.
They have it way spread out right now.
Yep.
I'm going to have to tell him not to spread out. It's hard to get on my camera.
So there's Bruce going down the lane to Spencer. Dylan was open for a second there in the middle. Dylan backing out up top.
Is that what they're trying to do? They're trying to get people to cross through the center and find them?
So yes, when you see the space there, they're cutting across the middle, trying to get open for the pass.
Okay, that was a little bit kind of the unfair advantage. Did you see number 25 up against Peter?
Yeah, it was a big hit.
But he's like half the size. It's not quite fair.
It's the nature of the game. They have taken quite a bit of the physicality out of lacrosse. You can't just get a running start and
roll someone over,
level somebody.
Mm-hmm.
They'll usually call excessive force. But it is a physical game.
And what about, since I was saying we haven't actually been playing lacrosse.
There's a pass.
There we go to Aubrey
again.
Yeah. The bruises, man, on the arm. I saw Peter, he had his T-shirt on, and I thought, what color are your arms this season?
Those sticks, they do hurt when they hit, and you can kind of swing away.
Now, there is something, though. When I was at that BU game, someone got called for a slash, and I have to say I laughed because I'm like, it looked like all the other ones. I don't know what the difference was.
Yeah, if the slash is really excessive, or if it hits the legs.
Maybe that's what it was.
They'll usually call a slash.
So they don't mind that they have bruised arms, but they worry about the legs.
Really, most important is they will, if you hit the head, any contact with the head, they'll usually call it.
That makes sense. I mean, even with the helmet on.
Yep. So yeah, usually anytime, and you can hear it when the plastic hits the plastic, you can hear it, and they'll usually call it immediately.
All right, well, we're getting, here we go.
That was Dylan Hawkins trying to find his first goal in today's game.
Oh, I missed the player here.
So here's that situation where they have to get it across the middle in a certain amount of time.
They tricked me with who had
their goalie is running out. He still has it. He's lost it, and there's a flag down. It's our.
Someone tried to stop him illegally.
I didn't see it from here. I think they called a cross check. So what that is you're allowed to push players on the other team if your hands are together on the stick. But if your hands are not together on the stick and then the stick hits the other player, that's called a cross check.
Got it.
And I think a cross check was the call. And Belmont's going to be a man down here. I didn't hear how long the penalty was called for, but it'll be minimally 30 seconds.
So do they pick a time? It's not a standard like you always get this many seconds for this kind of.
That is, I'm not entirely sure. That is, that's beyond my knowledge. I believe that the refs have a certain amount of discretion. I don't know if there are, sort of standards for various
times
for time served.
Mm-hmm. Watertown had a good look at that one. I don't know, it somehow bounced under and then over the net on that. Did you see they got a shot off though?
Hey, Moss with the save there. Nice pickup by Joe Gaziano. Again, you can see his athleticism there. He's got some wheels. He's killed that penalty. It looks like he's going to take a shot. Oh, just missed. I tell you, everybody always gets fired up when a long pole defenseman scores a goal.
Well, I don't even know how they could shoot with that long thing, to tell you the truth.
It's a little bit harder, but you have a lot of leverage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know how to do it, you can even shoot the ball harder with the longer pole.
Just seems like it'd be hard to get it going in the right direction. Do you know? To me,
definitely.
It seems like you could let go and high, low, easier.
It's much more exposed to the defense, given how long it is. I'm going to have to leave to coach the 7th and 8th graders in just a minute here.
We need our youth practicing so they can come on up and help the team.
Exactly.
Luckily, we have a substitute to step in.
So I'm going to turn it over to my wife, Danielle, who's going to take you through the rest of the game here.
We'll let Danielle get all mic'd up.
All right. Hello there, Belmont.
Welcome to Belmont Media Center, commentating.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
You know, people say if you needed the other job, you got to, practice these other talents. And
you know what? I think it's always good to be learning and putting yourself out there.
Right.
It keeps us fresh.
Yes. So Danielle was saying that this is lacrosse is like her, way to deal with having to say goodbye to the ski season. This is a very nice day to have lacrosse and saying goodbye to ski. But then, sadly, she was saying she doesn't get to watch her own kid.
I don't, but I'm excited to see all these great players from Belmont. And, it is what it is. That's the challenges of sports, right?
Some of them are like your second kids, right, after so many years of carpools and...
Exactly. And it's just, I'm just so excited to see them all out playing again. And last year was a condensed season, so it's nice to have...
a real
season and a great group of kids out there. We have a lot more players this year. A lot of kids came back to lacrosse after the COVID years, so it's really
so it was thin last year.
My oldest is a junior, so freshman year didn't happen. So sophomore year was last year, so I think it was thin. And Belmont just had a shot on goal and missed. And I think all sports across the board were thin last year. I think the transition of having some of the winter sports in the spring and then just
that's right. There were 4 seasons. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So Watertown is advancing the ball again. But last year we had a much smaller group of guys. I think, all right, Belmont is potentially causing a turnover here, fighting for the ball.
Oh.
And that's Ian Burns who picked that up.
And I'm so laughing because Ian comes out sometimes with a long stick and comes sometimes with a short stick, and good for him.
Yeah, that's great. So
whatever he needs
Trevor
to do.
Smith is out there with the ball, or he had the ball, and now I think it's he had it. Now it's Spencer again.
Okay. And Trevor's not a name I'd heard too much today.
No, that's why I wanted to point him out. I just saw him out there. So he's playing midfield. And Trevor is...
They're doing the yellow thing again now.
So...
I don't know. The guy looked like he caught it fine.
I think so.
Our player...
There's a flag out there, so they're calling something.
Yeah.
I, unfortunately, was looking at Trevor's name and
yeah. Oh, maybe it was some kind of illegal
substitution.
Although they're letting Belmont keep it. It looks like they called it on Belmont, so I'm not sure.
Sometimes there may be multiple penalties going on at the same time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know, that as we've seen, it's a full contact sport, so both teams can go down together.
All right.
But so anyway, last year we definitely had reduced numbers, so it's great to see larger squads out there.
Looked like he wanted to try for that one. I think that's
did.
Michael, yeah?
Yep,
he really wanted to.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that
pass.
was a good
that
sign.
Was a beautiful pass. So, yeah, that was Matthew Dispenser.
I said it wrong. It was Matthew. Okay.
I think so, right?
15.
That was 15.
Yep.
Matthew's 15. So, yeah, that was a great pass. And I just got to say on the record, Ross is a twin, so he knows better. He knows to refer to people by their names.
Funny.
He's an identical twin. He's the worst.
But, you know, it's hard. It's so fast. It's like one of the Pomers, one of the Pomers, one of the Pomers.
Right.
Yeah. I did the same thing in the last season, though, and I even knew, you know, well, and they came out on the same line, and I was like, really, Coach? You couldn't split them up for me? But it was all fine.
Yeah. So Ian's out again. So when they're doing the face-offs, they oftentimes will have a special stick where the head is much more flexible because it allows them to clamp down on the ball more. And so last year, actually, sometimes the face-off player, you'd see them take the face-off and then run over and grab a
stick.
So because it's harder to throw with the face-off stick.
Yeah.
But so you'll see Ian's likely, maybe, no, he's not coming. Yeah, he's coming off now.
And who knows, he may, like I said, he may come back with a long or a short with a harder stick.
Yeah. And it's funny, you were talking about that earlier. It's hard to learn how to throw the long pole when you're used to the short stick. It definitely takes an adjustment. All right, so Belmont's controlling the ball right now, moving it around, passing it to each other. So number 22 has got it. That's Liam McDonald. Oh, good try there. The key is, you know, you want to be moving and not static, so it's good that they're moving a lot. They're spacing themselves out. They missed that shot in Watertown.
That should have been a
penalty on Belmont, yes.
I saw that from up here.
Yeah, that is a penalty. That's going to be a slash, and it looks like that on Quinn Leary. He's the one running off.
Yeah.
Well, a bunch of them are running off.
Hard to say.
Yep. They called it on Quinn. Number 2, it's a 3-30
And he said 30,
penalty.
yeah.
So there's different rules for different penalties. I'm unaware. So you'll see Quinn's in that penalty box area that Ross was talking about earlier. Takes a knee. That kind of is the signal that someone's there. And then once the penalty's starting to kick down, they will run somebody back onto the field.
Okay, so now my question, so Watertown has it. Do we have a full defense? Because Quinn was actually a midi. So are we allowed to have just someone missing from up on our offense? Or, they're making a timeout.
They took a timeout.
Okay.
So you'll notice how we had 3 guys back on the offense. So they know they made us, we lost a midi.
Got it.
So that's why I think
you
Watertown
can't just
setting it up.
Okay, you can't just say, fine, I'll lose someone, but I'll take someone who's down here at the other end I don't even care about.
Right.
You have to, the player who's out, that's the position you lose.
Yes.
Usually. Okay.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
It can hurt. But it's the game, and the great news is we have not seen a lot of penalties in this game, so it's good to see the guys playing well and
playing
restrained,
clean.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes some level of restraint. And it is.
I'm sure that, the tempers fly when games are a little bit closer. This one, do you know what I mean? I can imagine there's not the same level of...
Right. And I will say hats off to Watertown, because I've definitely seen it when teams are not doing well where the tempers start to flare. And so that we're not seeing it all. So really good sportsmanship out there by both teams.
Mm-hmm. Do we have an evening view now? Jeremy, is that what we did? Evening view? Nice. It's nice when we have the people that actually know how to run the equipment. He's adjusting for the fact the sun is going down. Nice.
I was going to say, lacrosse fans, enjoy these beautiful cameras. Enjoy the fact that we're on TV. This doesn't happen often.
Well, this is one thing, the whole live stream idea and our partnering between the high school and Belmont Media that came out of that pandemic. You say, what good came out? Well, this has actually been great. They always streamed if we got to the playoffs. Right. But then, by finding volunteers like yourself, like myself, to help run cameras, because he can't go to every single game.
Not. Right.
But
right.
finding people who are willing to come and sort of help set up and help run, it enabled people to watch the sport more this year. And so, I don't know about you, but I don't have relatives in town. And so right now, my relatives in Florida and in Ohio or whatever are watching Peter's first lacrosse game. Well, I mean, this isn't his first game, but this is the first game they're watching.
It's exciting. I think this is a great result. I'm not happy that we've had COVID, but this is a great way of saying, how do we improvise and make things better? And thank you to Belmont Media for making this happen.
Yeah.
I agree. We have relatives out of town that maybe are watching and shocked that they're listening to me right now.
Yes.
It's a little bit harder. They're probably not watching Cole on the sideline.
Oh, I know.
But that's okay.
They're still seeing Belmont lacrosse.
They are, and it's like you said, it's great to see so many people picking up the sport. I think they did a really good job at recruiting new players this year.
Yeah, I think you were saying, someone was saying that the players themselves recruited other players, which is how it goes.
Yes. So Belmont's advancing the ball right now, passing it, moving it around. Jacob Trebetsky has the ball, number 21. He's going to pass it to number 5, who's Dylan Hopkins. So
now that
that's
went
over and back. So I think we just lost the ball there. Again, some of these players are new to varsity, and so just have to remember those.
Yeah.
Those rules.
So Dylan maybe should have sped up and got that one. He should have maybe,
Yeah, normally you'd want to see them running.
Right.
Hard
and of course
ball.
He was looking up and going, oh look, 17's coming this way. It's easier for him to pick it up. And
right. And you got to remember that midfield line is right there.
So there you go, a good learning moment.
Yep.
That will probably be watched on the film.
I was going to say they're going to watch that film and remember that. So Watertown is passing it around. Number 17 just
got a shot off.
Great save.
Oh, he's got it back too.
Yeah. Nate's doing a great job in goal. It's always hard to find a good goalie, so it's exciting when we get one. It's a tough position.
Seriously.
I've seen some kids go down in ways that
looks ugly.
Yeah, it's really scary. So Watertown just shot on goal. Belmont was closest to out of bounds when the ball went out, so Belmont gets the ball.
And it's only on the shot, though, that's the case, because the second ago it went out, but it wasn't a shot. And we were closer, but Watertown got it. So it was just a pass, and we missed it, right?
Right. So bad pass. Oh, my. So Nate's taking it out, passed it off. That's always a risky play. You usually don't see it as much in high school. You might see it. So Belmont turned it over.
I'm having a hard time on that one, following the ball.
And, so Watertown just had a great shot and great save by Nate. Really good save by Nate.
At his feet, it almost went.
Yeah.
Oh, great. That clipped somebody.
Yep, so Watertown. Now, again, so this is really a great chance for the goalies. They also can run and try to save the ball for the team. And so Nate did that.
Oh, yeah, well, he was like the only person around that could, I guess.
Right, so that's where the goalies are always having to be aware of what's going on. If they're the only ones there, they will run to try to save it for the team. So Nate's got it. Looks like he's going to advance it a little bit. I think, actually he's going to pass it off.
I love seeing him throw it with that big net. Oh, my gosh. And I wonder
I know. And so this is Nate and Zach, so they're brothers passing back and forth to each other. So they're having a little bit of fun. Some level of communication going on right now.
Well, that's also an interesting thing in terms of one can practice shooting on the other, if one's going to be a goalie.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh, that looked okay.
That was a hit, and they're going to... So the way it works is when they throw the flag, so Belmont's just scored. That was number 12, so that was Jack Murphy.
Nice.
Exciting to see Jack score. So if there's a penalty and the team that did not get the penalty has possession of the ball, they will not stop play until the team who has possession of the ball loses it. So here they're now going to charge the penalty against Watertown.
Oh, but so that's interesting. They still charge it because in hockey, of course, the same story happens, and if you make a goal, they never charge the penalty. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so I should caveat all that. That's what I think they're supposed to do, but
they called a.
Yeah, no, they've taken a Watertown only has 2 middies out there right now, so unless they're they're sticking somebody else out there. They should have. Normally in lacrosse, it's not quite like hockey.
Yeah.
But there is, as Ross mentioned earlier, there's a little bit more discretion, and scored 14-2.
Yes.
In the fourth quarter.
The goalie, the ref can do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things. I've definitely gone to enough games where you never quite know what the rules are. It's youth lacrosse. I mean, we're at high school, so we should know better. But
Ian putting his speed on there.
Yeah, look at him go. Ian's really going in there now. So ball went out of bounds. Belmont's the only one there. Some teams will have a defensive player back at X, which is behind the goal, in case that happens.
Because I was just thinking, usually the offense does have someone back there. It seems like you'd almost always have the benefit,
right?
But you're saying that some teams say, well, we're going to put our D back there.
Yeah, you could do either. Oftentimes you will see an offensive player back there because that's really where you're setting up your offense, and if you need to move the ball around. So if Belmont keeps going around in this circle, they're passing the ball around. They're
going to need someone
X.
back
there. So you'll
there,
just see that, I think it's number 12. So Jack just went to X. And really right now Belmont's moving the ball around.
Probably trying to chew up a little bit of time.
I think that's what they're doing. That's what it looks like. And then, so, you might see somebody try to cut into the middle for a pass, but they're moving the ball around. They're using time off the clock.
It's good
practicing their passing. It's good. It's good for everybody to get some experience playing together. So Watertown just caused a turnover, and
I heard that.
And then actually Belmont just intercepted the pass, and so that's Jack again, number 12. So he's going to start passing it around.
Also a junior, right?
Yep, Jack's a junior. Yep. Jack's one of the players who took last year off to do another sport in the spring, so we're excited to see Jack out there. Yeah.
Because I actually thought this was his favorite thing, but I guess I didn't.
It was. We were all surprised, including, as I understand it, his parents, but multiple favorite things, which is good.
Yeah.
Diversity is good. All right, so unfortunately there was just an interception by Watertown.
Oh, they're going to
be a penalty on number 21, so that's Jacob Lebetsky.
Yeah, their number one was really...
He was about to go.
Yeah.
And that's
I think
for
he had
Watertown.
the open.
That's Caleb Mayhew. He's class of 2025. He's a freshman. Number one on Watertown. He's
there you go.
Great to see some freshmen out there.
He was definitely going to
looks
wide
like we've
open.
got a timeout right now. And
we've got 6 and some to go. So it's about halfway through the last period, right? So that's a good time to take a little break.
Yeah, I think regroup a little bit. And you see Watertown's team looks smaller than Belmont's team again. I think last year, most of the games, our team looked more like Watertown, where we were just
thinner and younger. Yep.
And so it's great to see them out again.
So do you know who's going to be like the huge rivals for I mean, I know that we played the Newton teams. Those were tough.
Yep.
Who's coming up that is like, oh, okay, we got to have our game on for those days? Do you know?
So I don't know the schedule that well. I probably should know a little bit better. There's definitely like the Reading teams, if we're playing Reading, are always very good.
Okay.
I don't think we play Bill Ricca. They're normally very, very good at the youth level, so I would assume they're really good.
Sure, it translates.
Yes, but I don't think we play Bill Ricca, but I do think we usually play Reading. Lexington has some phenomenal players, so that will be a really fun game to watch.
Okay.
Last year, actually, one of our first games, it was a night game. It was one of the first sporting events. It was wild. The stadium was rocking here. All the kids were out. It was really fun to watch that game. And actually, it looked like Belmont was going to get blown out. The game starts again with Watertown has the ball. But in that Lexington game last year, it looked like Belmont was going to get blown out. And we came back and really, really should have won it, but we ended up losing. They had an athlete who's, I've been told, shot on goal by Watertown, missed. It's going to be Watertown ball. Has been recruited for D1, and
that could make a difference.
Yeah, at the end of the game, he just decided to score a couple times. Another shot on.
Take it into his own hands.
Yeah, he did, and we lost, but it was a phenomenal game.
Fun.
So I would say if people are around and you want to see us play Lexington, at least last year, one of the games was phenomenal to watch.
And actually, it's such a good sort of crosstown rivalry type of thing too.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Usually, it doesn't even matter if one of the teams is outstanding or not. Usually, when we play Arlington, it's always a thing. Because
I was going to say, Arlington's always a fun game. I think lacrosse night, we're playing Arlington. Lacrosse night's on May 14th. I encourage everybody to come out.
Oh, that's coming up. Wait, what day?
May 14th. It's a Saturday.
I'm not even here.
Oh no.
Peter will be here.
Good. Peter will be here. The boys play at 4. The girls play at 6. So it's a doubleheader. Belmont Youth Lacrosse will be out, probably doing some activities.
Fun.
So it's a fun night.
I know I have been to the soccer one, but I've never done that. Oh, that was
nice,
athletic. He got that.
That was
number
Anthony,
2.
And Anthony Venezia. He's a really good player. And
He was kind of flying down and did it sideways, you know.
yeah,
I
no,
liked
it was
that.
a phenomenal athletic move on his part. So he shot that he missed, and now you see Nate coming out again.
We outran him.
Having fun. So they're going to off. They called offsides. I'm not sure.
Did someone not put their pole up right? That was what I learned from Ross a second ago.
Well, the pole is to communicate with your team. So this is the danger. What we're seeing right now is there was an empty net. Watertown just scored. The reason why you don't want your goalie to come out is because if the other team gets the ball, they can shoot on an empty net.
Yeah.
So that's what just happened, and Watertown scored.
Yeah, and he was way up there. That's hard to get back. That ball can move fast down.
It can. So that was
Can't
very
run that fast.
Strategic thinking on Watertown's part. They took advantage of an error on the part of Belmont. So the stick up is just to communicate with your team members that, hey, I'll stay back. If you have the ball, keep running. And so if you just step a little foot over that line, they will likely call the penalty against you.
Somebody did.
You'll see people come to a screeching halt right at that line. So another face-off. Ian again, and so he kicked the ball back. And so I don't know if Ross talked about this, but only the midfielders can pick up the ball on the face-off.
So the other people can't run up and get it.
Right, so you're never going to see the defenders or the attack men go to the ball because they're not allowed to. So at the youth level, they'll yell possession. I think at high school they can pretty much tell, but only the midfielders are allowed to pick up the ball.
That explains a few things I've seen. Not that I was going to say, why doesn't so-and-so just help out? But I was going to say, why doesn't so-and-so just help out? Not allowed.
Yep, they're not allowed. So oftentimes there is a strategy. You'll talk to your midfielders and say, I'm going to kick it back or I'm going to clamp it, just so that they know which way to run and where you're going to push it. It's a little dangerous, obviously, but that's what you try to do. Because clamping is hard. And Ross was mentioning earlier the knee down. That's a new rule. So you used to see the face-off players, they would have a special knee pad. So that they could really lean into their knee and not hurt it on the turf.
And now they don't have to worry about that.
Right. It's harder, though. It's harder to maintain your balance.
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, I can't imagine. You're not supposed to move. I'd just be falling over.
I would be, too. It's funny. We're definitely seeing more penalties in that front. All the kids, and they've pushed it down to the youth level, which obviously you want the new rules to be pushed to the youth.
They can practice it then, yeah.
Yeah, so they're doing it. So Belmont's controlling the ball right now. They're passing it around. I think just, trying to kill the clock a little bit.
And I feel like I'm not seeing, it's so hard for me in this viewfinder, but some numbers that we saw a lot at the first half, 18 and 1, are they even out there now?
Probably not.
Yeah.
You want to give everybody the chance on the team to play, so that was...
gosh, who made that?
That was Dylan Hawkins. That was really exciting, and it was a great pass from, I think it was 22, which is Liam McDonald. I mean, really great.
Some names, yeah, it's good.
Great strategic playing, though. I mean, the goal is obviously exciting, but those passing is what makes those things happen oftentimes. So that was a really nice pass and a really nice goal.
Someone's going to finally open up the more you pass if you can, keep it in your sticks and not give it over to the other team.
Right. The whole idea, the faster you pass it, the more likely it is you're going to be able to get somebody in to cut in. You really want them to cut in front of the goal, pass it in, and then it's a great way to score. So another face-off here. And looks like Belmont's going to control it again.
Oh, he got out of there fast.
Yeah, Ian got that one. He's really good at the face-offs. What year is Ian?
He's a senior.
22.
He's a senior.
He did not, I think right. He came back to lacrosse. I don't think he's played since he was a freshman. That's what I've heard. We definitely did not have him last year. It's great to see him back. So
yeah.
Now you've got, again, they're passing the ball around. Liam is number 22. He's got it. He's going to probably pass it to number 12, Jack Murphy.
Working behind the net there.
Yep, he's at X. He's likely going to go to, he's going the other way. I was going to say he might go to Quinn, but he passed it over to Dylan. It's a little bit high. Dylan couldn't get it, so Watertown ball. All right, this is a good opportunity for an interception there, but we didn't get it. So Watertown still has the ball. Our defense was in transition. So Watertown looks like they're resetting their players.
Oh, they're bringing more people out.
When you see it's number 13, so 11. Gukasian had the ball. And
nice
just
shot.
That was a beautiful shot. Great score. That's Levin again, who just scored, number 13. Nice move on his part. But so he was holding the ball back to allow Watertown to reset their offense, change people.
He was doing his own yellow.
Yes,
I didn't hear it yell, but.
Yeah. You see them all of a sudden pull back. There's something going on. So we're going to do another face-off. Score is 15-4 with 1 minute left in the fourth quarter.
Now, anybody who wants to stay on tonight, the next game, what time does the game start, Jeremy? There's a rugby game on the field here at 7 tonight.
Oh, that's exciting.
Same Belmont Media channel. Oh, we're playing Cambridge tonight, rugby.
Wow. That should be a great game.
Jeremy's got a doubleheader. He's just happy it's not raining.
It's beautiful weather. So Belmont has possession of the ball. Ian won the face-off again, and now we are down in our offensive zone, throwing the ball around, passing it.
Oh, so Watertown, I don't know if you hear the coach is saying, play the ball. He really wants him out on the people. None of this zone stuff, I guess.
Exactly. They're trying to go for a steal, right? If you play the ball, you're more likely going to be able to stop them from passing, or maybe you can cause a turnover. At this point, when you have 22 seconds left, they're looking to stop and cause a turnover and maybe score. So Belmont, the ball went out of bounds. Belmont ball. Belmont. Oh,
Good
that
catch.
was a great catch by. That's Dylan. He had a nice catch while he was being hit, and he maintained it. Calling a penalty here. And it looks like Watertown's picking it up, so I'm assuming there was some kind of pushover on Belmont. So there are.
He called 30 seconds. I heard that.
I think it's a 30-second penalty, but there's 9 seconds left in the game. So
okay.
So I think Liam is going to just sit it out the rest of the game. And Watertown did a long bomb pass, and I think it's going to roll out of bounds, and that will likely be game.
Okay.
That's the game. So
yeah, we are a little bit different on our time thing on here than the scoreboard, but it's close enough. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard when there's slight timeouts and stuff, but good game. Thank you for joining, Danielle.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Belmont Media.
Belmont wins 15-4. It's an exciting way to have a home game against Watertown, because it's always a little bit of a rival. And, I would like to just say I think the kids really played well and respectfully through the whole thing, which is important.
It was good.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.